When I first met Josh, he spoke of light the way some people speak of prayer, reverent, attentive, grateful. Josh is a fine art photographer. His lens once turned the ordinary, and I mean ordinary, into something holy. Dawn light on a rusted fence, raindrops lingering on a windowsill, anything. His camera was an extension of his soul. But grief can knock the lens right out of our hands. Josh's son, his only child, his best friend on weekend hikes, was killed in a car accident at 19. One moment, they were planning college classes. The next, Josh was choosing a casket. The light that he'd always chased, it vanished immediately into the shadows. His beloved cameras, they sat on shelves like museum pieces for months. Even just the idea of creating, it felt impossible, like betrayal. I remember Josh saying, "Carlos, how can I create when my son can't even live?" So we didn't start with the camera. We started with the wreckage. So let's start by talking about the silent studio. Josh's studio, it became a mausoleum of unfinished prints and untouched tools. This is what grief does. It turns creativity into a room we're too afraid to enter. The thing that once gave us life, so much life, starts feeling selfish, indulgent, even cruel. But the truth is, when we keep our art locked away, the pain doesn't heal. It actually calcifies. So we begin then with small, sacred steps. Talking about his son's goofy grin, the plans that they made, the hikes that they took. It was messy. There's no question about that, but it was honest. Because creativity, it can't bloom in a vacuum. It needs our rawest stories as soil. Now let's talk about carrying the lens again. Josh didn't jump right back in. That wouldn't have been right for him to do. That wouldn't have been healthy. So he took slow walks, camera bag slung over his shoulder, a familiar weight, like a friend who doesn't ask too much. He didn't even shoot at first. He just noticed. He noticed sunlight on a cracked sidewalk, an old oak tree that reminded him of their hikes together. Grief stayed with Josh, but the light returned too. And then one morning, he lifted the camera. He clicked the shutter, one frame, one crack in the darkness. That single image, morning light through these oak leaves, reminded Josh that maybe, just maybe, beauty was still allowed. His tears came, of course they did, but this time they carried a thread of hope. Now let's talk about After the Storm. Josh called his new series After the Storm. He didn't photograph to forget. He photographed to remember the places that they went, the ones that they planned to see. Each print layered with textures and gentle washes of light, almost as if he was stitching his son's memory into the paper itself. This is the quiet miracle of creativity. It doesn't erase the ache, but it gives it a voice. It doesn't bring back what was lost, but it keeps us connected to what remains. Josh's grief, it didn't disappear, but it softened. It softened around the edges, framed by the very light that he once thought was gone. Now let's talk about finding the light that waits. Josh tells people at his exhibits, this is so cool. Grief taught me that the light is never truly gone. It hides, it flickers, but if you look closely enough, you'll find it waiting to be found again. Wow. Maybe you need that reminder today as well. The lens, the brush, the pen, they wait for you. The stories that you're afraid to touch, they're the same stories that can save you and someone else too. Bokeh Bushido is about that commitment to keep noticing, to keep capturing, to keep creating, not when you feel ready, but because the light keeps whispering, I'm still here. So here's my challenge to you. Look for the light hiding at the edges of your pain. Pick up the tool that's gathering dust. Frame what feels too fragile to hold. Show us that even in the darkness, you are still becoming. Now go. Honor truth. Face what is. Speak what's real. And create from the deepest place you know.